Alright, Garrett, you're all set. You have a good day.
You too. Jesus. I just spent the last 30 minutes on 2 different customer support lines just so I could buy a vlogging camera. And that wasn't even all the time that was involved on customer support lines. I didn't know it was that big of an ordeal. I just want to make vlogs for the fans, man. But like, I don't understand why there was so much security over just that. It's not even that's the only time I've had to go through this weirdly intricate process. Like, I ordered shoes like a while ago and I had to do the same thing for shoes. It was like $100 and I had to go through a 30-minute process to go and call them. Time is valuable, guys. I don't watch this, guys. Watch this.
Oh yeah.
It's the algorithm. Wow. I don't know what just happened there, but I was texting my pals and then I come back and I just made a kid kill himself. That's why I love Call of Duty. But yeah, back to Call of Duty, which seems to always be something I say in my video, because it's like so much stressful things going on that just shouldn't be happening, and I'm just trying to just let it pass, and then I just come home and play Call of Duty, so it's a good time. So the title of this video is I graduate tomorrow, in all caps, because you know you got to do that for YouTube nowadays. And it's true, but I'm going to tell you guys my experience as just going through the graduation process. I've probably already talked about how annoying it is, but literally today I had to go into my school at like 11:45 and sit there for 3 hours to do 3 things, which was walk in a line, walk in a circle, and walk in a line. And I had to be there for 3 hours to do that. Today was literally my last day stepping foot in my school, though, and that was kind of a weird feeling. You know, I walked around the halls just kissing various objects so I could remember them, and that's not what happened at all. But, you know, it was just weird to be, like, in there and know that I'm probably not going to be in there ever again, even though I spent, like, every day there for the last 4 years. So, I mean, time passes, you know, life is great, but graduation is annoying, so yeah. So I was actually late to the practice today, and the reason for that is whenever I have to get up early, you know, I set alarms, but today I didn't have to get up specifically early, so I just had like a couple alarms. And my plan was to wake up at like 9, you know, maybe get some stuff done before I had to go. It started at noon, basically. But, you know, my first alarm went off, it was like 9, and I was like, I got time, so my next alarm went off and it was 10. And then I thought I woke up at that alarm, but I must not have, and then I woke up at like 12. So I was late, so I had to take the fastest shower of my life. I felt like the freaking Flash, but with like shampoo and conditioner. And then I just went there. And my last name is so far in the back of the alphabet that I got there like 15 minutes late, and there was literally no consequence for me at all. I just sat there for like an hour until they got to my name. And that was just to put me in a seat on the floor, which I sat on in the gymnasium. So then I sat on the gymnasium floor for about another hour while they just kind of looked at each other and discussed what they were going to do next. And then we got to walk in a line. And then we did that for like 30 minutes, and we couldn't even do that right because they made it overly complicated. So that took another hour. And then we went back and sat in the same spot and then walked in a circle to simulate graduation. And that took an hour. I've had senioritis probably since like the second week of school. So literally the fact that every single thing that is stopping me from finally being done is just dragging on so long, it's just making me complain, you know? Like everybody else is complaining as well, so that, you know, whole atmosphere of just complaints is just kind of, you know, feeding me to be a horrible human being and just belittle every single person's efforts that they're doing to make this a good thing. But I mean, I'm in phase, so it's okay, right? It's kind of unfortunate because my graduation literally laid on the one time of the year where I wanted to travel, and that was, you know, MLG Anaheim. And I actually can't go to Anaheim because if I had gone, I would have only been there for like 2 or 3 days as opposed to like the week that I wanted to go. And I'm not going to pay the whole amount to travel just to go and be there for a minimum amount of time when I could just wait a little bit and go to LA and probably visit the Face House for the same amount of money and for a lot longer time. So that's the plan for right now, but it would have been nice to see everybody to Anaheim. And, you know, whenever those trips happens and I don't go, there's literally just me like sitting in my bed just watching everybody else having a blast, and just one tear rolls down my face and I'm like, oh well. Now, it seems like a lot of people think that I'm just depressed, and probably, you know, little segments like that are what makes that seem that way, but I'm I'm just a sarcastic person. Like, I'm literally having the opportunity to do whatever I want, so I don't feel like I have the even chance to be sad. Not really sure what the first thing I want to do after I become an official high school graduate is going to be. Probably play Call of Duty, but like, I don't even think it's that big of a deal still. I'm sure I'll look back on it later in life and be like, wow, I probably should have cared a little bit more and not just been, you know, a depressed teenager. But I'm not a depressed teenager, so I won't say that. One thing I will say though, why do I have to wear a gown? Like, if I could wear just like a shirt that was the same color as the gown and not just, you know, have to learn to walk in a gown for one day, that would be cool. Like, tradition is cool, but like, I don't like it. The cap is very uncomfortable. Like, I would never wear hats in general, but I'm forced to wear a cap. You know, there's no hats in school, but once you leave school, that's the symbolism of the cap. It's like, okay, now you can finally wear hats. You know, once you're graduated, we don't get to control your headgear anymore. Except we do, because you got to wear this headgear. It's just symbolic of that you can wear headgear. The little moving the tassel from left to right, like, our principal got up in front of everybody and the practice today was like, after we graduate, we do the whole symbolic thing and moving it from left to right. I could do that anytime. That doesn't change anything, you know? Like, I could do that. I could do this with my hair. Does that make me graduated? No, it doesn't. I already put in the time. Let me just graduate, man. What you're seeing right now is basically just an annoyed rant of somebody who's had a lot of time taken away from being able to do what he enjoys to do, which is YouTube, by the graduation process. Yeah, it even took away from Anaheim. So I'm a little bit salty about that. But it's over tomorrow. And that's exciting.